everybody. Thank you for joining us here on 7 Mile Hill Sanctuary.
We are blessed and privileged today to see the brother and sister and Miss Emma and Mr. John here with a newly added family headed over the seas. Flaming Arrow Kennels is pleased to partner with not just both of them as dog handlers, dog owners, dog mushers, but also knowing full well that they're going to a loving family. So we're thankful. Rob and I have had the privilege not only to breed and raise this bloodline, but we've had the partnering with people in the community, as you guys have seen in times past, whether it's been Mr. Jordan or others that have come alongside with Mr. Travis and others that have given their time to help us with our kennel. And now for a week we've been blessed with these two to come and not just enjoy the territory of Alaska, but even to give their hearts and their love, not just for the animal, but to come along and help Robin and I clean the kennel and just put up with the mess as it can be during the rain season, but are blessed themselves, I'm sure, to leave not only with these animals, but look forward to the fellowship that we get together and enjoy again in the years to come. We'd like to now just speak to this wise, if you two would have, speak to our viewers regarding your stay here maybe and your position with this Seppala bloodline, and I'll stop talking, please feel free.
Anything you've experienced, what you think?
Yeah, so obviously we are here at Flaming Arrow's Kennel. We come from the UK. It's taken us quite a journey to get here, but we made it. We are the stay. First of all, I just want to thank you both for being so overly welcoming and looking after us so wonderfully. And the lodge here, I can't quite put into words how beautiful
Amazing.
it is to wake up and look at at that view.
Robin's really worked out. Not just Robin and I, but like I said, not just with our dogs, sorry to interrupt, but like Jordan and Travis and Bruce and you've seen the videos in times past, Chris and the rest of them that have all been here helping us. We shout out to Adult Teen Challenge and many in the community that have given their time to help us. We're pretty grateful.
Yeah,
and this is the start, I believe.
Nice. I believe you gave the show to them.
Okay, forgive me. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, but it's a real pleasure to wake up to this view every morning. We've seen some absolutely wonderful things whilst we've been here, so you've treated us very kindly and taken us to a number of amazing places that most people, certainly in the UK, could only dream of seeing. And the fact that you guys are based on the Iditarod Trail and do so much.
That's all God. God is good.
Is absolutely fantastic. And for John to be able to obviously have these girls, and for us to be able to move this on in the UK and really take a step forward.
Yeah.
With the Seppala line is massive, and we're extremely thankful for these two very, very beautiful girls who are about to come to the UK.
Well, we're also blessed and thankful that you guys not only made the journey, and it is a long journey. But you, John, you've shared a little bit about, and you too, Emma, your heart's not only concerning the dog, but the challenge that you have endured to get to this point. And so I can understand a little bit of that on my own common ground here and what I've gone through with them. And that is the appreciation that I have in knowing and trusting that they're in good care.
They will be.
So what do you think, John?
Amazing. The whole holiday we've had and spending time with all you guys. Yeah, it's been really amazing. And to go back with these little girls here, it's never dreamed it would happen, and here we are. And thanks to you both, Robin and Lance.
Well, that's true, but I appreciate those kind words from both of you. But realistically, and rationally speaking, not just to be humble before the Lord, but it's really His doing. And He created this bloodline, and He has designed for you to have it and for us to share it. And so it is an amazing journey as we do life together. That we can see not only this or the view like you guys spoke of, but how about the comfort that and peace that it brings us
Yeah.
having it.
That's a big deal.
That's,
It's a really big
you
deal.
know, we sit in that Happy Trail kennels with Martin Booza and looking at the video of why they run.
Yeah.
And here it is, like you're talking, going through all of that hardships through life, enduring all the time frame through the customs and the travels and all the hours and even trying to get to point A to point B just to run and all the cost of it. And the question is raised, well, why do they do it?
Yeah.
Because of the love you have for them.
That's
And they
right,
And
yeah.
the love that they give back to you.
From the video, there's no breeze, there's no pole or anything that goes from the musher up to the lead dog. So the only way we can steer them is with voice commands. If we want them to go to the right, we tell them G. If we want them to go to the left, we tell them honk. Just like draft animals of old. And it's really not that difficult to teach dogs how to G honk. I always say there's only two main things you can do with a sled dog. Leave them behind. Like these does not have to be to get to go.
Yep.
He said G, I'm going G. And that's how he's going to let me keep moving. So, we'll teach every dog in the kennel to G honk. They all will learn it. It's not difficult to teach. You're going down a trail, you got a trail off to the right, you do them a G command, you know, big deal, they'll take it. What is really difficult is what Chad's doing right here. Tooling around the wide open gravel pit with no defined trail. How does Pumpkin know how far he wants to do it? And this is where the
Oh, thank you.
That was good.
Hello. Do I smell all interesting? Oh, thank you.
drive my sled. I'll sit in the sled and you drive my sled. Everybody in
So he's had many apprentices.
Oh, no.
Future stock. Puppy. Don't forget me. Don't forget me. Come on. Oh, they're leaving you out, kid. Huh? He's got a good coat. I like his colors.
This is one of our younger litter, the Rivers, that Chad will take for this year's I did run. This and probably some of the milk litter, or the...
I have all the race equipment here, so all the protective equipment for the dogs. And I'll get Stormy here dressed in some of this gear so folks can look, see what the dogs look like when it's 20 below zero and in the middle of the winter. And I also have a race sled. This sled has seen the Iditarod Trail. It's a sled that Martin built. It's mostly made of carbon fiber, and a lot of times the runners are made of aircraft grade aluminum. These runners are a hardwood. They're made of ash. Probably weighs about 50 pounds empty. And unlike NASCAR, there's no specifications for the sled. It doesn't have to weigh any certain amount or any dimensions, but the mushers are required to carry mandatory gear, survival gear. The mushers, when you come to a checkpoint, you have to show the race officials you're carrying a pair of snowshoes, axe, cold weather sleeping bag. This is a snow melter, an alcohol stove, so you can keep the dogs fed and hydrated. There's water everywhere, you have to melt it. And we also carry dog food, of course, and human food. Good idea to carry extra supplies if the weather moves in and you need to make an unplanned stop. And then for the dogs themselves, you're going to carry 2 sets of booties for each individual and a dog jacket. These are the requirements. Stormy says, this is boring. I've heard this kind of rainy out here, Stormy. Beautiful Alaska. So Stormy is an Alaskan Husky, just as all the dogs up in the kennel are the same type of dog. The Alaskan Huskies, well, they're probably a little smaller than you might expect. They don't look like the Huskies that we think of. The pure breed Huskies, the Siberian Huskies, or the Alaskan Malamutes. So the Alaskan Huskies, they're more lineage really than a breed. So they're not recognized by the American Kennel Club as a breed. So in order to be an AKC registered breed, they have to look a specific way. And we're not as concerned about what they look like. We're much more concerned with how their performance. So that's what the dogs are bred based off of. Martin, the kennel founder, he's been breeding and training dogs for 40 years. And on his laptop, there's a really neat program, a computer program, and he's kept great records. You can look through 12, 13 generations of different dogs that he's paired together. Generally, the top finishing performers are the ones chosen. And so that's really neat. And in the past, he's infused bloodlines from other kennels, but the genetics are very important. So the genetics, the nutrition, these are professional athletes, so we feed them really high quality foods of all sorts. High calorie kibbles, raw stuff, so red meat, salmon, chicken skins, things like this. So the genetics, the training, the nutrition and the training, how you prepare the dogs for these races. These are 3 really important factors in the race. So Stormy's a little smaller than you would expect. The Alaskan Huskies are kind of like the marathon running sled dogs, so they're mixed breed. She's a phenomenal lead dog. there was a team of standard poodles that competed in the Iditarod in the 90s. They finished the race. This is an athletic breed, but they don't have that downy undercoat. Those fine downy furs. So, you know, their hair was covered in ice, and Iditarod, there's a rule change. The dogs have to be a northern breed, so they have that double coat. So they, of course, have the overcoat, and then the fine downy furs that make up the undercoat that they shed in the summer. The dogs also have guard hair. The guard hair are the long coarse hair that stick out a little further, and that protects the undercoat from rain, from sunlight, and snow getting into that undercoat. When it's a snowy trail, the dogs will need some protective gear, or when it's very cold. These sleeves, these are, or leggings, these would be necessary when there's 8 inches of freshly fallen snow, especially if it's right around the freezing mark, right around 32 degrees. The snow is very sticky, and there's a lot of guard hair on the back of the front leg. And so when it's a deep snowy trail, you probably have most of your team wearing these leggings. And you know, we say that training begins pretty much right when they're born. So, you know, we socialize the puppies. You folks help us train the dogs by handling the young dogs. They get really well socialized. You know, building a bond with the dogs, a relationship, you know, it's all built upon trust. And so, you know, you want to have a really strong relationship with the dog. The booties. So I'm going to put some booties on. Stormy here. The booties are not necessarily for cold protection. Their feet don't get cold, but these booties will they prevent snow and ice from accumulating on the fur under their foot. You know, after 2 hours without a bootie on, there's a big ball of ice under their foot, and it's kind of like when you have a rock in your shoe. It's really uncomfortable, so that's why we use the booties, just prevent snow and ice from accumulating. And we will also put back bombs and food ointments on the dogs every, you know, maybe 40 or 50 miles. After we travel down the trail for 40 miles, maybe we run for 6 hours, then resting is just as important as running, so we've got to stop and rest for about 6 hours maybe. And when we stop and we rest, I'm going to try to look at all the dog's feet. You know, there's 64 feet that need, you know, to be really well cared for. So I'm going to be looking at their feet, at the pads of their feet, also, you know, between the pads into the webbing, and we'll use foot ointments. I've had some great mentors over the years. Mark is the 3rd different Iditarod champion I've been able to work with. You have to qualify to run Iditarod. You have to complete 750 miles of mid-distance races. And I did some mid-distance races with this guy by the name of Lance Mackey. He was the first person to win Iditarod 4 years in a row. His father won the closest Iditarod in history back in 1978. His dad won the Iditarod by 1 second. And then I got to work with Dallas Seavey in my second Iditarod. Dallas is a very successful dog musher. He would make his own foot ointments out of olive oil and essential oils. And olive oil is great for your skin. It has properties that make it anti-inflammatory and antiseptic, things like that. So we would make our own foot ointments for the dogs. I'm going to put the harness on Stormy. This harness is custom fitted for Stormy. It has a forms an X across her back. There are 9 different styles of harnesses, just depending on their conformation here. But there's a lot of padding around the neck and the shoulders here. This company, Nonstop. This is a Norwegian company, and the booties are also Nonstop. You know, Alaska is really the epicenter for distance dog mushing. You know, most of the mushers that compete in this Iditarod race, they live and they train in Alaska. But we see folks that come from Canada, from Sweden. There was a guy by the name of Newton Marshall. He came all the way from Jamaica. He competed in Iditarod. He didn't train down there. It's too hot. He trained in Alaska. But we see teams that come all the way from America, places like Montana, Idaho. Alaska's kind of its own. We're just different up here. But Norway is very competitive. Over the years, there have been 3 different Iditarod champions that have come across from Norway. They're very competitive. 2020, that was the most recent Norwegian champion. Thomas Warner won the Iditarod that year. And I remember he gave an interview right before the race, and he said, "I've been training high in the mountains of Norway, and you know, often, almost every day when we went out, there was a foot of deep snow. We were marching through a heavy snow condition. And sure enough, the night before the 2020 Iditarod, it snowed about a foot. And And I'm sure he was just smiling from ear to ear when he saw that snowy trail. His team was very well suited for that condition. It was kind of a poor year for snow that year in Alaska. We had some warm conditions, a lot of ice, so maybe the Alaskan teams weren't as well prepared. But Thomas won the Iditarod by about 6 hours that year. He beat out with Stevie, and so that was a big margin of victory. His team was well suited for that particular year. So there is a little bit of luck involved sometimes. And then a jacket, I'm going to put a jacket on Stormy. You'll need a jacket for every individual. They won't always need them while running. In fact, in the first few days, maybe it's kind of warm out, you know, it's 30 degrees. Probably won't have jackets on the dogs until later in the race when it's windy, cold. You know, 10 degrees colder, maybe 0 degrees and very windy. They'll need a jacket. Now that I have one dog prepared, I should get started with the other 15. It takes a little bit of time just to get yourself out of a checkpoint. And so if I stop for 6 hours, the dogs are going to take advantage of most of that 6 hour period, either eating or sleeping. And the musher, meanwhile, is going to be busy caring for all the dogs. There's no outside help in the race, so I'm responsible for taking care of their feed and melting snow, feeding the dogs, massaging any sore muscles. So sleep deprivation is probably one of the biggest challenges for the mushers. You get very little sleep along the way. So maybe for 9 days, you only get a few hours of sleep each day. So it starts to really accumulate. And the number one rule is don't let go of this sled. If I let go of the handlebar, I get sleepy and I tip over, wake up with my rear end, and Stormy's like, I say, whoa, Stormy's probably going to say, oh, see you later. I think he said speed up. See you later. Don't let go of the sled, dude. I'll leave this on.
And they got to go to the Iditarod headquarters.
Yeah.
We've seen. It's been a week that we will never forget. It's one of those. It's really hard to put into words.
Well, God knows, that's what matters.
It's been, yeah. It's been so much to take in but in a good way. But in a good way, of course.
Yeah.
I very much fangirled out yesterday at Martin Boozer. I just don't say anything stupid.
Well, you know, he
just don't say anything
he
silly.
is, you know, if we would dare say, legend, icon, and certainly a master in his craft. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Accolades, whatever you want to say. But when it comes right down to it, his heart and love for the sport and the people of the land and the animal itself, that puts us on the same common ground altogether, all of us.
Oh, I wish that worked with Derek. Chill.
He doesn't understand that one, does he?
You ready, Ace? Alright, Granny, get it.
Yeah, I bring all these guys in that van from home every day.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we load up and go back home just to keep everybody active in the off season. Yeah, I got coffee filled in the bag. It's pretty slick, yeah. Yeah, I only use the back 8 for the 16 dog box for the finish ahead of that. We need to sleep if we have bad amongst failure. Yeah, I've been pretty happy. I spent my own fitness check on that. Oh yeah. Make money and spend it on it, you know. Right, that's what it is.
Check this out, I'm videoing you, videoing the dog.
There you go. Well,
There's a program in the UK called Gogglebox that does that.
Lean a hair to your right for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, come again.
That's all right, I can show you mine.
You can share yours, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they get bored on the loop, they start biting.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, a lot of history.
Yeah, a lot of history.
Yeah, the museum was beautiful.
Yeah.
We went to Seward, and that was just
Yeah, that's nice down there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's
just to
that's,
drive, let alone the history that
Oh
place
yeah.
shows.
Did you see any belugas?
No,
Oh.
no, we
No.
didn't. But it was still just as lovely and just as special.
Yeah.
And like I said, we've got to meet all of your guys, which has been all of the dogs, which has been.
Yeah.
We're lucky that there's not a few more shoved in my pocket. If I didn't have to pay for plane if it was a drive home like it was with my guys, you might have found a few more missing, as I'm sure.
Well, I saw
Shoving them
that
in
when
my
that,
pocket.
that miniature was out of that woman's pocket. You all that.
Yeah.
I said, hey, you got to go on a plane, right? You know.
And with the puppies at Martin Boos's as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, can we fit one of these chunky puppies in?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Not at the minute.
But for 7 Mile viewers, near and abroad, and we're talking internationally, like we're dealing with co-mushers, co-laborers in the field to integrate this breed that God has made back into the mainstream, even over there. But for all you viewers over there, and we're talking Robin and I from Flaming Arrows, we appreciate your time, not only tuning in to 7 Mile, but stay plugged in to both of these two as they go forth and show what they're going to do over there with what we've been able to bless them with.
Absolutely.
More to come, so
Yeah.
stay tuned, stay plugged in, stay connected, and stay in Christ. God bless y'all.
Yeah.